So this message just feels important to say, and how can I phrase this? So a lot of men are often dealing with frustration or curiosities about why majority of divorces are initiated by women. And I think a lot of men sometimes are experiencing frustration relative to that, right? But I want to bring into a couple points and highlight them. That back, if you go, many years back to when the statistics of the divorce rates were a lot lower, in that particular time, men were responsible for holding all of the financial security in the family. Now that granted him unnecessary power, too much power of control, meaning he didn't have to be accountable for his tone of voice, if it was cruel or unkind or mean, unsupportive. He didn't have to account for his emotional effect on her, how his energy affected her, imprinted on her, how his psychology impacted her, his words, the verbal choices he made in communication with her, and how it affected her mentality, her mindset, the impact he was having on her. And he did not have a standard of emotional health that he was kind of expected to operate from and by, meaning we're not going to treat our partner with cruelty, we're going to treat our partner with respect, we're going to honor her as a complex, emotional, psychological, spiritual human being, and we're going to view her as a conscious partner in which we make decisions together as a team. So a lot of women, now that it is not the case that the man is the only one who is financially responsible, right? Now women are operating from choice. And that is the definition of what equal rights is. It's that all people have the ability to operate from choice. And if you don't advocate for that, you have some serious work to do on yourself, because that's real flawed thinking, really flawed thinking. No matter what perspective you're walking from, you should always want to honor the sovereign choice of every single human being. Okay? So number one, that's huge. And then number two, because of the fact that now females have more financial capacity, which is important and essential for sovereignty, for self-exploration, for individuation, right? Being able to find your own autonomy as a human being, which is the purpose. One of the purposes of being here in this life is to find who it is that you are, find your calling, find your purpose, right? And then understanding that you deserve, and there's that whole premise of the bare minimum versus princess treatment. And I think that the mass majority of females are trying to raise the point of view on what they expect, what their standard is. The standard is kindness, the standard is consideration, the standard is emotional health, the standard is psychologically balanced and emotionally grounded and regulated communication. Conversations, how you speak to her is supposed to be from a neutral space or positive. We're not, at this day and age, we're not, as women, we're not choosing to be in a relationship with someone who would verbally demean us, who would be disrespectful, who would be unkind, who would, project their chauvinistic, narcissistic, or sexist view on us. We're just not signing up for that anymore. And so the invitation is to obviously see that and identify that and do the inner work to emotionally shift the terrain of how you communicate and how you show up with women, and knowing that as we are evolving, we are seeking and desiring more. We are wanting more, and we're also giving more too, but we're giving more in nuanced ways. So, and then also just to speak to the question of, what does a woman bring to a table? I feel like the only appropriate response to that in this day and age is, if you had a seat at my table, you would know. But if you have to ask that question, it means you don't. You haven't earned a seat. So women should not be the ones proving themselves. Women are the choosers. We are the choosers on a biological level, and that's important for ensuring integrity in our partner. So just to shed some light and perspective on that.